Alright, so we're gonna show you exactly how to don and doff for droplet and contact precautions using the equipment that we have here in Golden. And Tracy is going to be our model. So before you go into a droplet and contact situation, you're going to make sure your pockets are empty of all your extra garb that you don't need. Your Vocera is on in a position where you can access it through your gown. And in this situation, it might be more ideal to have it clipped onto your scrubs so that you don't have anything extra around your neck that's going to be able to be contaminated above your gown. There you go. And making sure you don't have any sort of neck jewelry on, or rings, watches, things like that, extra things that are going to be able to be contaminated. So you're going to
Prince Albert's.
You're going to start with hand hygiene, and for the purposes of our demonstration, to not waste it, Tracy's just going to pretend. The first item that you're donning is your gown, and this is an impermeable gown, not the yellow cotton ones. So as you're putting it on, you're trying to make sure, if you have a tie one, that it's tied a little bit loosely but highly around your neck to minimize any sort of neck and scrub exposure. And then around the waist, you're going to tie it slightly to the side so that it's easy for you to reach and or see in order to untie it.
Well, that didn't work.
Perfect. Next is your mask. For droplet and contact, you're just needing a regular surgical mask. So these ones going on over your ears, pulling high up over the bridge of your nose, smoothing out over your nose, and tucking down under your chin. Feels good? Good. Next will be your goggles and or face shield. Face shield is ideal for droplet precautions. So we have a variety of them, but this one works with the one band. You're trying to get maximal coverage of your face. So tie up on your forehead as possible, making sure that that shield is covering around towards your ears and down to the length of your chin. And then gloves, and we're going with the blue gloves, nitrile gloves. That's what should be at our isolation carts, and the point of this is to get maximal cuff coverage. We'll pretend that didn't fall on the floor. Okay, looking good. I think Tracy's ready to go in. Okay, now we will do doffing of the droplet and contact precautions. So we're gonna use a pretend garbage so that we can reuse this equipment for Tracy later today. So while you're in the room, you're going to grab onto the surface of the first glove and peel down and away from yourself, and hold on to it with that, yep, there you go. And then you're going to fold that other glove down over top of the glove before you throw them into the garbage. There you go, drop into our pretend garbage. Now you're going to do hand hygiene. Now, being careful not to touch your shield or your mask onto your gown. You're going to untie the straps of your gown. If you have some mobility issues or aren't able to untie your gown, get a buddy to help you do this. And then you're going to bend forward slightly and trying to only touch the inside of the gown. Pull that gown down and away from yourself, and rolling it into a bundle away from your scrubs, and then dropping it into the garbage, and perform hand hygiene. So at this point, depending on what we're doing, you may or may not have to keep your shield and or mask, but in order to do a full doffing, you would then remove your shield, pulling off and away from you. We're keeping these now so they can be cleaned. There's cleaning stations outside of our cast room and at our nursing desk. These ones would be disposable, ideally, but we're keeping them now. And then you would, when you're outside of the room, you can doff your surgical mask. Sorry, you should have done hand hygiene there too. Skipped a step. There you go. Okay, come on out of the room. And now you can doff your surgical mask, pulling down and away. She hinged forward at the hips so that it didn't snap back at her face. And hand hygiene. Done.